Bonjour, bonjour, mes amis. It's Madame Jessica, and today we are focusing on the lesson 01.07, which is Tu es comment? Tu es comment? How are you? What are you like? We're going to learn some descriptive words, so hang tight while we make it to the lesson. And here we are. So, tu es comment? La Suisse. We're going to learn about some cultures, some different countries, and then about descriptions for people, learn about some interesting people of French origins. Here we go. My family. Now, again, this is Sophie speaking. My family and I went skiing in Switzerland one winter. I still remember my ski instructor, Nicolas. He deserves a medal for teaching me how to do the pizza stop. From Paris, we traveled southeast. Did you know that Switzerland is not even 1/10 of the size of Texas, but it has 4 official languages, including French? No surfing here, but the country can brag about its 1,500 lakes. It also has the longest tunnel in the world. While people ski the slopes, cars pass right under them, deep below the mountain. In this lesson, Kevin will learn how to describe himself and share a little bit about what he is like as a person or ask people about themselves. I'm going to help him get to know some French celebrities who are known internationally. So remember, you have your note guide in the previous pages. Note guides are super useful. Make sure you have that handy, available, printed, or saved so you can fill it out as you follow along with this lesson. On est comme on est. I just can't believe Kevin's been with us for over a month already. His French is really progressing. It is so fun to see him use the language when we're chatting. I was telling him all about my grandmother Marseille this afternoon. She has the saying, on est comme on est, meaning we are how we are. I shared some things about my funny grandmother, and Kevin shared a little about his cousin in Texas. This is how our conversation went. So before we listen, here's a couple helpful hints. When viewing the dialogue videos in the course, just remember to watch the video twice. That means you can stop our video, rewind it, or go back a little and then watch it again. So first listen through it to see how much you can initially understand. Pay attention to the context and nonverbal cues, gestures, facial expressions, and body movements. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. It's not expected of you. During the first viewing, make use of the closed captioning to help you understand if you need it the second time around. Pause the video when necessary so you can have a full view of the sentences, and feel free to speak along with the dialogue in the video. This will help you build a strong sense of intonations, pronunciations, and cadences of French speech. Read the comprehension questions beforehand. Keep the questions in mind while watching the video and answer the questions on your note guide and then check your answers. Now, here's a quick reminder. All of the questions for comprehension are available to you in the slide deck below. So after viewing this video, I encourage you to look below, practice those questions, and see how well you understood.
Sophie, how do you say your grandmother in French?
C'est facile. That's easy. Your grandmother is ta grand-mère.
Ah, super. Let me try this. Comment est ta grand-mère?
That sounded great. Let me answer. Ma grand-mère est petite et elle est intelligente. Elle est professeure.
Elle est agréable ou désagréable?
Elle est agréable. Let's see if you can guess what I am asking you now. Comment est ton cousin au Texas?
You're asking about my cousin, right?
Oui, c'est ça. Yes, that's it.
Il est grand, il est athlétique et il est mince.
Il a quel âge?
Il a 17 ans.
Et il s'appelle comment?
Il s'appelle Liam.
Il est poli ou impoli?
Luckily, heureusement, il est poli.
And so at this point, you can pause our video, rewind it, listen to it again if need be. We will be looking at this dialogue in the lesson, the live lesson where we see each other, or you can refer to it in the flashcards below. Just a sneak peek. Here it is, if you wanted to read through it. All right, and you're Welcome to pause as I scrolled so you can review it on your own. The highlighted, bolded words are going to be examples of what you can expect in terms of vocabulary. So after watching this, do the self-check in the flashcards below, where we're going to double check you understood who Sophie and Kevin are talking about. What did Sophie say about her grandmother's height? What did Kevin say about his cousin's height? And what did Kevin highlight about his cousin? Description. Ever heard that the mind of a person is more important than their looks? Getting to know someone and deciding if there's common ground takes time. So for the time being, I'm going to teach you some expressions that describe the appearance of a person. So remember to use your note guide. All right, so here we have tu es comment? Tu es comment? What are you like, or what do you look like? Fort. Forte.
Fort, forte.
Strong, heavy. An example is mon ami est fort.
Grand, grande.
Notice the difference in the endings. Grand, grande. Je suis très grande.
Petit, petite.
Petit, petite. Short or small. Mon ami est très petite. Notice it's female here with the extra E at the ending.
Mince.
Mince. This one actually is going to be gender neutral, so it doesn't matter if you're referring to a male or a female. If you want to say they're slim, mince. La Tour Eiffel est grande et mince.
Tu es comment?
Tu es comment? What are you like? What do you look like? So this was our first word, our first phrase, important as we continue. Cognates, hopefully you saw some cognates in the conversation between Kevin and Sophie. Some of them are here. Intelligent, intelligente, timide, artistique, sincère, adorable, athlétique, sympathique, or sympa. This could be for cool. Nice, pleasant, likable. Amable, kind and pleasant, and cool. Cool. All right, so these were false cognates and borrowed words. French people do use cool. So, la prononciation, c'est important. Kevin, notice how the fate of how a word sounds lays in the hands of a petit, little, yet mighty accent or letter combination. But wait, there's more, as you're going to discover.
Now that you know all these sounds, you're inching closer to speaking like a native, Kevin. One new letter combination is one that sounds like un in mince, meaning slim. And now here's a new accent that we'll place on the letter E, like in sincère, the true cognate for sincere. We call it l'accent grave. It gives the E a deeper, throatier sound. Here it is compared to the accent aigu, athlétique, and sincère. One thing you may have noticed is how the TH in athlétique sounds like the T in Atlanta. We'll spell it with the TH, but the H is undercover, seen and not heard.
Here we are à ton tour, so it's your turn to practice what you've learned. Now you can refer to these activities in the flashcards below. Bon travail and bonne chance. Good luck. Pourquoi? Why? So today I was listening to Kevin speaking at school and I noticed that he was struggling with subject pronouns. I asked him to remind me once again. We got home to go over it. I hope he remembers since we get so busy with homework. So remember to use the handy note guide as we review these sounds and these conversations. So Kevin says, hey, Sophie, since I'm speaking French with more and more of my new friends at school, but I am not sure if I am doing it correctly. Could we practice the subject pronouns you use for I, you, he, and she? Sophie says, sure, Kevin, it's easy. Let's practice the 4 that are just like what we used in English. So do you remember how to talk about yourself? Hopefully you do too. And he says, I say je, like je suis américaine, or in Kevin's, je suis américain, or je suis grande for female. How about when you are talking to a friend? Do you remember? Directly to your friend? Oh, like when I talk to you, I use tu, like tu es cool or tu es intelligente. How about when my mom describes my uncle to you? So they're talking about him. She will use il, like il est français or il est athlétique. And when your uncle describes my mom to you, he's talking about her. Do you know? He will use elle, like elle est française or elle est intelligente. So Kevin and yourselves, tu es incroyable. Incredible. Recap. So here's what we need to remember in a nutshell. When we talk about ourselves, we say je. When we talk to someone, like a friend or someone we know well, I use tu. When we speak about a guy, we use il. About a girl, we use elle. À ton tour, refer to the slides below, the slide deck, to practice all of this as you review and check for your comprehension. Des célébrités. Kevin and I enjoy reading about the latest soccer scores and new and upcoming inventions that will change our lives for the better. So here's the latest and greatest about des célébrités, some French celebrities. Remember to use the handy note guide. So here we have Kylian Mbappé, Emmanuel Macron, Audrey Tautou, and Claudie Raniere. So I am going to pause this, or just stay here. I'm asking you to pause this and go ahead and read about Kylian Mbappé, because this will be a reference in the quizzes or in the lessons as we review these people that are important to French culture. Kylian Mbappé. Kevin, since you love soccer, you might be interested to know that Kylian Mbappé is the only teenager who scored in 4 successive Champions League knockout stages. Isn't it amazing that he was noticed and became famous at just 16 years old? He began his career in the Association Sportive de Monaco Football Club. What's interesting is that he was considered a gifted student but couldn't sit still in class and even got in trouble for it. Don't tell anyone, but Kylian has more followers on social media than the president of France. Kylian est de Paris, il est français, il a 23 ans en 2023. Kylian est athlétique, il est grand, mince, et fort. Next, we have Emmanuel Macron. On that topic, in 2022, France's president is Emmanuel Macron. He was first elected in 2017 and re-elected in 2022. Under the previous president, he was the Minister of the Economy. He received his baccalaureate, that's our high school diploma, with merit. And then he went to prestigious Ivy League top schools like Sciences Po, where he learned about economy and public affairs. Kevin, which statement do you think is true about President Macron? He plays the piano, he was born in Nigeria, or he has an English grandfather? Yes, Macron did study piano for 10 years. Monsieur Macron est politicien. Il a 45 ans en 2023. Il est mince, il est intelligent, artistique et poli. Next, we have Audrey Tautou. I remember you saying something about actresses being called America's sweethearts. Well, it's safe to say that Audrey Tautou in France is France's sweetheart. She played in La Délicatesse, where a French woman who finds herself widowed embarks on an unexpected journey of friendship. When in middle school, Audrey thought she was going to study monkeys and was interested in science. But after high school, she studied theater and was monkeying around on stage instead. After the year 2000 and many movies later, she became an international sensation. Audrey est française et elle a 46 ans en 2023. Elle est drôle, est intelligente, elle est artistique, sincère et polie. Next, we have Claudie Agnéret. I'm going to try to share what my cousin said about Claudie Agnéret. She is so passionate about space that she's sometimes hard to follow. Claudie is the first French woman astronaut, but she studied medicine and neurosciences. That's not all she accomplished. She was also in politics and was the Minister of Research and New Technologies in 2022. In 2002, she even holds several medals in France. Claudie est française et elle a 65 ans en 2023. Elle est très intelligente. Elle est docteur et Claudie est sincère et aimable. So review the self-check below in the slides. Here we are, plus de description. Most days we bring our A game into the world. If I were to describe you, I would say something nice about your attitude and outlook on life, Kevin. Here are more ways to describe a person. Remember to use your note guide.
Agréable.
Agréable, pleasant. Elle est agréable.
Désagréable.
Désagréable. Paul est désagréable.
Poli.
Poli. Brian est poli. Notice that regardless if it's masculine or feminine, whether or not there's an E, it's pronounced the same.
Impoli.
Impoli. Il est impoli.
Drôle.
Drôle. Il est drôle. This too is gender neutral, regardless if it's masculine or feminine, it's spelled and pronounced the same.
Triste.
Triste. Il est triste. And these are the 6 new vocabulary words for this lesson. La prononciation, c'est important. So you can hear the in sound in either IN like in mince or IM like in impoli.
Un, like in impoli.
À ton tour. So refer to these questions below on the slide deck as you review your comprehension down below. Don't forget to do that. Feel free to pause right now to review it or go back to it once you're done with the video. Pourquoi? Why? Kevin, did you notice how it is easy to choose il or elle to describe people you meet or your friends because you know their gender? Well, let's build on that thought. So using your note guide, make sure you have that available to follow along. In French, places or things belong to a noun class based on their grammatical gender, which has nothing to do with human genders. They will be identified as being either a noun class feminine or a noun class masculine. La pizza, for example, the pizza belongs to the noun class feminine. Le sandwich, the sandwich, belongs to the class noun masculine. Notice the difference between how we say the pizza, the sandwich. Did you catch that? La pizza, le sandwich. Pourquoi c'est important? Why is that important? Well, just like how the ending of nationalities change depending on who is from France or Spain, for example, adjectives, descriptive words, that describe people, places, and things need to match the noun class, either masculine or feminine. So if a noun belongs to the noun class masculine, the adjective will also have to be in its masculine form. And if a noun belongs to the noun class feminine, the adjective will also have to be in its feminine form. So le sandwich est grand, the sandwich is large, Notice it's a masculine word. We have le as well, and both of them need to match the fact that sandwich is a masculine word. Whereas pizza, we've decided is a feminine word. So we start with la. Ooh. Pizza est grande. And we choose the E in order to say that pizza is large. Did you notice how the adjective that described the pizza ended with an E? The quirky thing is that adjectives like sincère, timide, which already end in an E, will keep the same spelling when they are used to describe people, places, or things that belong to the noun class feminine or the noun class masculine. For example, the word drôle, if you remember, that ends in an E, so it doesn't matter if it's masculine or feminine, it doesn't change and it's pronounced the same. La pizza est drôle. Le sandwich est drôle. The pizza's funny and the sandwich is funny. So a quick recap, adjectives, descriptive words will change depending on the noun class, masculine or feminine. When a person, place, or thing belongs to the masculine, the adjective doesn't change. When a person, place, or thing belongs to the feminine, you add an E to the end of the adjective that happens to have a consonant. Adjectives that end in an E will not change spelling, whether the person, place, or thing belongs to either the masculine or feminine. So refer to the slide deck down below à ton tour to practice this comprehension. And finally, écoute. It's bring your mystery celebrity to school day today. So leading up to this event, all is very secret. Our social studies classmates asked questions during our short speech, just like a journalist would do. Kevin and I decided that we better practice because it'll be the first time he presents. And since public speaking makes me nervous, I welcome it too. So don't forget to use your listening strategies. Let's take a look at what they are. Listening to the audio twice. Listen through it to see how much you can initially understand, paying attention to context, body language, gestures. And the second time, then you can check your comprehension with using the closed captions if need be. Also remember to use your note guide. Kevin.
Je suis français et je suis artistique. Je suis acteur et musicien.
Tu es comment?
Je suis petit, poli et fort.
Tu as quel âge?
J'ai 40 ans.
Tu habites où?
J'habite à Lunel.
Tu t'appelles comment?
Je m'appelle Julien Doré.
All right, so there he is reading the text. This is what questions were asked and how he described himself. Feel free to pause this video to read.
Je suis française et je suis athlétique.
Tu es comment?
Je suis grande, forte et mince.
Tu as quel âge?
J'ai 36 ans.
Tu habites où?
J'habite à Arcachon.
Tu t'appelles comment?
Je m'appelle Laure Manodou.
All right, bravo. So now that we listened to both of them, I'm going to take a look at the text. Feel free to pause to read along, rewind to play it again. And finally, how did you do? Were you able to understand? Refer to the slide deck below to practice your comprehension. All right, mes amis, that is the end of this slide deck, this lesson for 1.07, Tu es comment. Hopefully you feel really good about it. Feel free to pause, rewind, move forward, do anything you need to with this video, and then use the slide deck below to review your comprehension. All right, bon travail, mes amis. À bientôt.